A popular jig color pattern that's out there on the water. It's called the Fire Tiger. The Fire Tiger is it's a beautiful looking jig that has multiple colors on it. Uh, I find it really effective in the spring. It has the chartreuse that seems to work in clear water. It's got the orange and black that work in in murky water. It's got the bright green that tends to work in all kinds of water. So to make the Fire Tiger, you're going to need bright or chartreuse. You're going to need blaze or fire orange. You're going to need bright green, and you're going to need black. I want to talk a little bit about the colors I use for the Fire Tiger. These paints come from a automotive paint shop that's close by, and I buy these by the pound. And these are powder paints used in the automotive industry. What I like to do with these paints here is these are specific for making the Fire Tiger. The black and the bright green and the orange. I put them in separate cups, and I don't mix them. I don't stir them up. I don't shake them, and they become over time very what's the word, caked or cluttered, or they don't drop as a typical powder paint will. For that reason, I use these for splattering onto the jig. It really gives it a great effect. It falls off in like little small clumps and makes like different patterns on top of the jig. I really enjoy doing this technique, and it might be something that you might be interested in doing too as well. So let's get started. I thought this time here I would turn on the fluid bed and show you the disasters I get with certain colors. Black is one, chartreuse is another one, white is one where they just don't fluid like you would like them to. So I start with a very low air just to get it worked a little bit, and I stir it. Got the stirring stick that I picked up at the dollar store. Works really well. Then I slowly turn up the air to get it elevated and to a consistency. I shake it a little bit. If it wobbles like it's like a cup of coffee or something, then it's good. We're good to go. So take off the excess paint that's on the stick. We're ready to go. Now I'm going to be using fine brushes for the black and bright green. I got one here, just got to get one more. Okay, so there's one for the bright green, one for the black, and I'm going to probably use 1/2 inch for the orange. I'm going to start with my rock hound. Get a hook on there. Get this turned on. 5 seconds. Now the painting techniques for this I'll show you. as best as I can. I'm hoping the GoPro can focus in what needs to be done. I'll try to zoom in when I put it on the film. I'm talking too much, I forgot where I was at. So we'll do a little turn or two extra. Okay. Alright, chartreuse is on. Again, I'm going to turn, actually no, I'm going to go the other way because I'm putting the orange on the back part of the jig. And just tapping so light that I don't want to overpower it. Again, just about halfway. I'm going to turn the jig a little bit so I catch the corner of the bottom of the eye. And just feather it off at the top. Okay, that's the orange. I'm going to put it back on the heat just for a second. So I have heat on top again. Okay, now with the bright green and black, I'm just going to splatter it. So I'm just going to tap the tip of the brush. I'm going to get really close. I'm about a quarter inch away, and I'm just tapping. I'm not covering all the jig top with the color. I'm just tapping just little splatters. I'll show you in a second. Okay, I'm going to give that a blast of heat, and that is going to melt the splatter in the spot where I put it. Now you can see exactly what I did there. You can see the splatter? That's the effect that I want to get. Now I'm going to be doing the same with the black. Just put the heat right back on there again. The black in here. Just putting a little bit on the tip. And just slights. You gotta be really careful because it falls so easy. And I'm just turning and splattering. That's why these wide mouth jars are perfect, because then you don't have to worry about, dropping paint on the table. You just do it right over top of your paint cup, and we'll give that a blast of heat. And there we go. That is my version of the Fire Tiger, and when you put a nice eye in there, you're gonna have a great looking jig. Let's do one more. I'm gonna do it on the shiner. Okay, 4, 5, one more turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we're going to put that shrink tubing on. You might not like this process of melting the end, but I'm telling you, it really does work well. So I'm going to turn that tip of the jig down. Use a 1/2 inch. And you point the jig head into your paint cup, and that way it just falls ever so nice on the jig, and it's not overpowering. Just slight taps, about halfway. Give that a little blast of heat. Okay. Get the bright green in now. Turn the jig head down. And these white cups also help because you can actually rest the hook on the rim, and that helps you to keep the jig steady as you are tapping along. Okay. Get more heat on there. I find the shiner really takes on the colors nice. The shiner style jig head compared to the round rock hound. You could also use black glitter. I've done that before. You can also put black glitter in the green. And that is it there. And put that under the heat for a second or two. This is the high gloss black that I got from the auto dealership. I'll leave a link for those that would like to check it out. They do export to the US. It's a bit more money, but it's great material they have. See how beautiful that turned out? See that black, how it's splattered? I love this style. I really enjoy doing it. And I have other jigs that I do the same kind of technique with. There you go, the Fire Tiger. You put a nice little eye on that baby, and it's gonna produce for you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that one. I'll be back next time with another jig for you to see. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit, a second or two about how I clean my fluid bed cup when I'm done. So when I'm done with the color, I'm taking it out and putting it back inside the container, and then I blow it with this dust buster. Just once you get all the paint out, you tap it, you just give that a shot, and poof, any dust that's in there, it's going to blow it out. Yeah, you could use an air compressor. I want to get one. Eventually, I will. But for the meantime, I'm using these cans of dust buster. I can get it at the dollar shop for under $5 for a can. Well, you know, it lasts quite a while, so I'm happy with it. Okay, folks, we'll be back later.